Sheriff's Department, they have NVGs, they have night vision goggles, and so it's a little easier for them to see. But for us out here, we just have our camera, so we're trying to follow along. That's the Sheriff's Department lights. There he is. Finally, we got a good shot of him. He's coming down Bouquet Canyon right now. We're listening to the sheriff's ship that has lit this guy up. Apparently, the officers from LASO kind of backed off because Bouquet Canyon extremely windy, extremely dark, and this guy was traveling at extremely high speeds. A lot of extremes going on out there. But again, you can see him straddling the lines out here. Sheriff's Department has got his plan set up for him. They're going to do a little pursuit intervention technique here as he passes across Vasquez Canyon, which he might have already done. I'm just kind of looking out the window trying to get a bearings on where we are exactly. But they were going to put out some spike strips to try to slow this guy down. Again, don't know the original want. Do know that this started up in the Palmdale area, but I'm going to go a little bit wider here so you can get an idea, how windy these roads, how tiny these roads are, and how many officers are in pursuit of this guy right now. Again, it's the Sheriff's Department. We're listening to them and watching them. They're using their lights. That helicopter was flying extremely high, keeping an eye on this guy from a distance. And again, crossing the lines, they have used the spike strips. It has worked, and apparently his tires are coming apart. This is a very windy road. I cannot stress that enough. And now we have some traffic out here as well. And you can see that this car is starting to lose a little bit of its traction here as he's working his way through into the canyon country area. I'm going to push in just a little bit quicker there. You can see the front wheel is missing on that car. This is believed to be a Pontiac G6. Again, not really sure exactly what motor is in this, but very powerful car, very fast. And again, LASO has been in pursuit of this guy since the Palmdale area. Windy roads out here, very extreme conditions for the officers and that suspect. Now that he's missing a tire, Sheriff's Department's been in pursuit the entire time. Rick?
Stu, are you, you said canyon country, but when I think of Bouquet Canyon, this is an area where you normally would run into Saugus. Is that where you're headed now?
We are definitely heading down. I still believe that this is more the canyon country area. He's still in a very rural spot. Again, past Vasquez Canyon Road.
Right, and by the way,
as I get a little bit wider.
I don't mean to cut you out, but Bouquet at Vasquez Canyon Rocks is all. There's a lot of horse property. There's quite a bit of property with a lot of acreage. But as you get closer in towards Saugus, that's when you run into a lot of neighborhoods, and there will be much more in the way of populace and cars if this driver is headed towards Saugus.
Well, that is definitely where we are right now, Rick. You can see the road's getting a little bit bigger. We're in where the homes are. There's a lot more cars out here. And as I get a little bit wider, you can see that this is like the neighborhood type of area. Again, we're seeing more parts of the wheels coming off of this car.
Wow.
This car, he's driving this thing all the way to the ground. He has no front wheels at all anymore. And again, crazy trying to make that turn right there. Sheriff's Department, I'll get you across street here in a second. It looks like he's slowing down. They got the doors open on the officers' cars, but he's pushing this thing as far as he can. Original want, I'm not really sure, but this pursuit started in the Palmdale area. He worked his way out of the township onto Lake Elizabeth and then onto Bouquet. That's when the Sheriff's Department backed off because he was driving so recklessly. Again, you can see the officers right there very close behind him. Even if he does stop, he's not going to be able to run far, but this car's kind of giving up the ride right now, and it looks like right now he's just kicking it in again. He's going to try to make a go for it. Officers are still there right behind him. They might use the pit maneuver, even though this is a kind of a tight area. You can see we're getting into some more cars here. But again, this was an extremely, extremely fast and dangerous pursuit the entire time. Now you're kind of hoping that he's just going to kind of give up out here in this neighborhood. But again, he's pushing this thing as far as he can take it. He's going to really just kind of run it till that car does not go anymore.
Is there a dead end coming up ahead of this driver?
I can't pull up a little bit more. These are very residential areas right here. We kind of lost the share. I had some locations, but you can see the officers right there. This is Palmdale Sheriff's and now Santa Clarita. There he goes, making a run for it.
Yeah.
He's look at that,
Whoa.
right over that
Oh, my
fence.
God.
What? That was almost
boy.
acrobatic. And he's just making this run here. He's in a wash area. You know, he might be getting a little distance from the officers right now, but he's not going to get any distance from that helicopter. We're just following him along here in this open wash area. We haven't seen him try to make a dive into somebody's home or anything like that. Again, the night sun from the helicopter is still on him. I can kind of see him. Looks like he's going to try to make another fence here. Not sure where his plan is. There he is. He's in that yard with the pool. Just making a run, kind of going around. Looks like he might even know where he is. There's a dog chasing him right there.
Wow.
And again, another fence.
He's
kind
stuck
of
right there.
came to
Oh,
a rest there. He might have been a little winded, but really just look at this guy go. He's got he's got some energy right there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He really
he's in through another backyard, working his way into some trees. This is where it's going to get a little tricky. Let me go a little bit wider here. See if he pops out from this tree. There looks like there's a kind of motorhome or like something back there as well, but this is like the last place we saw him. You can see they're under some wires. You got officers approaching. Again, he might be bedded down in this tree area. There's a shed.
Well,
going to
police
stay
are there.
wider, see if he can pop. There he is. There he is.
Yeah.
There he is. He's against the wall. It looks like he's going to try to hit another wall, but he's got to be pooped. Look at him. He's just kind of
like he
doing the.
kind of backed off from that wall and just hanging out there for a while.
Yeah, he's just kind of giving it up here. He's got his hands up. I don't know if there's officers in that backyard. We know that they're using the PA system. You can see officers running on the other side of the wall. They might not know that he's right there, but yeah, he's actually complying, I believe, to the helicopter, the the sheriff's department helicopter. We're going to keep moving around here. Maybe we can get him a little bit away from that wall as we watch him go into custody. But wow, this guy had some energy. You saw that. He just jumped out of that car and he just made a sprint, jumping over fences, jumping over walls. He pursued, I can tell you that. It did come to an end out here in the Santa Clarita neighborhood. You can see officers from Palmdale and Santa Clarita all out here right now, still just kind of combing the area, being recalled. That's the car right there that they were chasing. That's a Pontiac. It is missing 2 front tires. I didn't want to talk about it, but while the pursuit was in motion, didn't want to give away any secrets, but the sheriff's department had this plan in place very early on. As soon as that car was up into the Bouquet Canyon area and was on those dangerous roads, the officers called ahead. They got a truck out there, a car out there with spike strips, and they planned this. That was the only intersection that he had coming up where they could do that, and they put out the spike strips long before he got there, and they were basically waiting. That's the suspect right there with that sheriff's vehicle there. They put him inside that car. Again, we've been talking to the sheriff's helicopter trying to get a cross street out here to give you an actual address where this all came to an end, but you can see that guy right there being taken into custody. Another great job. They had this very well planned, and all things considered, no injuries to anybody. That is incredible, and again, extremely dangerous pursuit and also dangerous flying for that helicopter. At some points, even the sheriff's department observer was saying that he can't call out streets right now because he's got a lot of flying to do. But again, you can see him going into custody here in Santa Clarita.